Welcome to Coordinate Academy. I am Shoposha Chiganguli, and today we have with us Shomo Banerjee, who is a software engineer at Rakuten. Before we start, I would like to tell our viewers about Coordinate. Coordinate Academy is just a subdivision of Coordinate Group of Industries, which covers a lot of other aspects, not just interviews or not just an edtech approach, but an entirely innovative approach that can transform a lot of industries that it aims to work in. Coordinate Academy, as you know, is the EdTech wing of the Coordinate Group, and here we try to innovate the existing learning platforms that we have. The website of Coordinate Academy is launching soon. I guess it's by the 7th of December, and we hope to bring about a revolution in the way the teaching learning process is executed in India right now. Not just India, but worldwide. So, that being said, today we have with us our sponsors, Hotochara.com, who are a gifting platform that can send you innovative gifts depending on your personalized requirements. So, well, that being said, welcome Shomo Banerjee to our interview experience today. Let me just give a brief intro into Shomo. He has been a student of University of Engineering and Management, Kolkata, and he has not only cracked a job offer at Rakuten, but also he has been provided several job opportunities at TCS, Wipro, and elsewhere too. So we'll be listening to all those, Shomoda, and welcome to Coordinate Academy again. I would like to start by asking you about like a few years back when you just came into college. So, what was your main focus back then?
Okay, so it's a big question actually because if you consider a fresher who is joining the college from school, like he has a lot of hopes, he has a lot of aspirations, he has a lot of dreams. Like he thinks that he will be this, he will be this. Okay, now at that time for me also it was the same. I was not sure that I would be going into IT firm or I will be going for higher studies or not. So for me it was like I was like, it was a kind of guesswork. Okay, now if I do good in studies, I will go for a higher study. If I don't do too good in the studies, I will go for a job. Okay, now gradually as the first year passed, I got a better idea that higher studies it is tough. Okay, now and the matter is that we have been studying for around more than 12 years, right? By that time, so 12 plus 1, 13 years we have been studying more than that actually. But at that time, when I thought that it is only 3 more years, and still if I want to study, then it will be a long time. Okay, so there was a bit of idea that I will go for a job. Then came second year, we went core into our subject. My subject was CAC. So as we went core, I was liking the subject. But there was also a chance that when I heard about the higher studies, that is MTech, I was like, no, let it be. I will go for a job. Then came MBA. The thought of MBA was a quite big one. There was a lot of preparation as well in the third year. Third year is the career deciding year for your information. You get to know a lot in the third year. You decide what to do, whether you will go for higher education or you will go for a job. So in the third year, it was like for me either CAT or it will be a job. Like for CAT, you prepare for APT, English, and those things. For your job also, you prepare a bit about those and your own technical knowledge. So I went for the preparation of APT and all. So I gave CAT. I then went for the job interviews as well. CAT was not so good because I was distracted in the interviews as well. So yes, then I cracked Rakuten and then I am here right now. So that is the whole journey of me.
Okay, so that was pretty much an innovative journey,
Ah,
because
yes, yes, yes.
we a lot of students, being in final year myself, I can relate to the fact that this job versus education divide that you higher education divide that you just spoke about, that is pretty much. But let me bring to this juncture. Uh, how was your GATE examination?
Gate, as you may know, you are from a UEM, you are an UEM student. So gate for us is mandatory. It is not like we choose gate. It is mandatory for us. Yes, there will be students who want to go for higher studies in tech. So they are preparing for gate. But for us, UEM says that gate is mandatory. You have to give gate. And how do they motivate you? They say that crack gate, we will refund the money. Okay, so that is UEM for everyone. So that was the same for me as well. I went for gate. Now gate when I registered, it was my location was Calcutta only. But when I cracked Rakuten, I went to Bangalore for the internship purpose, and the gate was in the next year only. So at that time, I had to change the location. So, and apart from the pressure of internship and the change of location and all, so it was a lot hectic. Like it was not, I didn't have the time to study or anything. But I gave gate. It was like whatever I could answer, I answered those, and luckily I got an all India rank also. So I don't know how. I don't want to brag or something about it, but yes, I got a AI all India rank, and UEM also posted our photo in the newspaper, and so it was luck by chance. That was great for you.
Okay, so that even that was pretty much a unique thing. Well, the reason why I brought
Yes.
in the concept of gate was that, as you said, that you had to balance between your internships and gate. So,
Right, right.
how much do you stress on the importance of internships when you are in your third year? As you said, third year is the career deciding year. So, how much do you stress on the importance of internships in third year and in fourth year?
See, being in college, internship is of two types. Okay. Now, one is that you go for the internship in your second year, second sem. That is from fourth sem. From fourth sem, you start going for internship or you start looking for internship. You can go for internship from fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh sems. Okay. Seventh sem is a bit risky. You need to take permission from your college and all. But fourth, fifth, and sixth, you can go for internship. So those internships are just for your learning purpose or for experience purpose. Those you can later on portray in your different job interviews that you go for. Or there is one more chance that if you perform really well in one of the internships, those companies are always ready to give you a job when you pass out. So that is a deal between you and the company, how you deal with. So that is one kind of internship, and another kind of internship is after you crack a job. Like for example, Rakuten. You crack the job. You get. I cracked the job in around November. Then they said that you are eligible for the internship. That is not a job offer. That is a letter of internship. So we go for the internship from Jan to it is from Jan to June. Yes, for 6 months. Now there is an evaluation that in that time. So the first evaluation occurs in April after 4 months, and the second evaluation occurs in the June. So a part of the students get the job in the April, and others they get a second chance if they are not performing very well. So after the second chance, they are informed that whether you're getting the job or not. So, but
Okay.
for us, for the COVID situation made it a bit messy. So it went long. So our offers were given in May, and we were also not aware of like we will get the job or not. So that was for us. But internships in general are of two ways. One that is for your experience purpose, and one that is you go for internship in the hope of getting a job.
Okay, so that was very clear and very lucid, and I hope our
Yes.
viewers will be extremely, benefited by that, especially those who are in their currently in their second and third years.
Right.
Well, now let's dive into the real thing that we are driving after, the interview experiences.
Right.
So,
Right.
what was the first interview that you appeared for?
First interview was I made it. Yes.
I made it. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
rate like how was your experience at Harvard at the interview at IMED?
Uh, iMate was a kind of startup, so but the experience that I faced in iMate was not very good because the kind of setup was like we were shortlisted through a exam that was APTI and some coding. So there were around 14 to 15 students who were shortlisted. So we went to their office on a particular date. It was early morning, around 8:30 or 9. So
Okay,
we were there and we got a KT from the people there, And then the CEO contacted with us through online chat. So he was there,
Okay.
and he asked us about our personal interests and choices. So we gave the details, and after that, two or three of the guys from our group was interested in basically machine learning, AI, and all those things. And
Okay.
most of them were web development or software development or something like that. So after that introduction, when the call was ended between us, the CEO informed the other people that I am specifically interested in those two students who are interested in machine learning and AI. So
Okay.
it was like we were like it was a kind of setback for all of us because we were not among the both of them. Like it was like kind of you know that there is a difference between they will be treating them different, they will be treating us different. So we already knew that. Oh, after that we sat there, we gave the interview. So my interview was yes, my interview was at the end because they wanted to see my project, what I did.
Okay.
So I went in at the end. It was around 7:30 or something like that. So we went there, and I went there and I showed them what my project was. It was something on image processing. Yes, it was on image processing with Java. So they saw it all. They assisted, and after that they said that we will be informing you later. And later on the two guys from who said that we are interested in ML and AI, they got the jobs, both of them, and
Okay.
others did not. So that was the first interview experience. Not very good, but that is reality.
Yeah, it was might not be the means it actually gives us a lesson that every
Right.
interview that you sit for definitely you won't crack it, but
No, no.
you definitely need to keep developing yourself and keep working on that. So that's pretty much
Right,
an
right.
excellent thing that you came across. Now,
Yes.
let me go back to one thing which you mentioned during your experience, that was your projects. So, how
Right.
far have your projects benefited you in the long run of interviews that you have had recently?
See, project is your personal choice. Okay. Now, if you are in UEM or in some other college, they may say you that you need to do a good project for your job purpose. But
Okay.
I would say that it is up to you because see, what why do you do a project? You do a project for learning something new, right?
Yeah.
Or you do a project to implement something that you have learned, right?
Yeah.
So that is for your own personal growth. You don't do a project just for the sake of getting a job, right? That is the wrong
Okay.
mentality.
Yeah.
You don't do a project for for getting a job, or you don't
Exactly.
publish a paper for getting into a MTech. That is
Yep.
the wrong mentality. You must do everything that for your own self. Like if you want to do something, you do for your knowledge purpose, right?
Okay.
Don't do it for your job. Okay. So that is what project is. You do something for your own self. Yes, there might be an agenda that you want to show the project for getting a job. That is fine. But whatever you do, get something to know from it. Gather your knowledge from it. That is project.
Okay. Yes, that's a very important point that projects need not be always to show off. You have to absorb what is there in your project, and
Right.
that's something which you said was very crucial. And I hope our viewers will get some definite tips on it. That being
And
said,
one more
yes.
thing, sorry, I wanted to tell one more thing. If you are showing that you have done this project, I will say you that don't give the project in your CV if you are not very confident about it. Like most of the projects that we do are
Yes.
group projects, right?
Yes.
Suppose see, I can see that I have five projects under me. Okay. Now all the five projects are not being done by you yourself, right?
Definitely.
You are part of all the five projects, but suppose you were good, you had a lot of indulgement into three of them, and the other two were not, you were not much involved in it. Okay, suppose you did the paperwork or you did the presentation, but you were not into the core development team, right?
Right.
So those are also projects. So you can see that I was a part of five projects, but I would suggest you in this scenario give only the three projects that you have complete idea of, because if you are
Yes.
giving it in the CV, you never know what the interviewer knows about, right? Suppose I am giving a project from machine learning, I'm giving a project from image processing, I'm giving a project from something else, web development, suppose.
Yeah.
Now the interviewer is into AI. Okay, he may not be
Okay.
into web development and all, he is in AI. Now, unluckily, you were not a very good part of the AI project, you were a good part of the web development and the other one, software development. In that
Okay.
scenario, what will you do? right? You don't have very good idea. Now, in that case, if he sees that you are not able to answer, you are rejected then and there. Because it will be like you are bragging of something that you don't know, right?
Okay,
So,
that
yes,
is
remember
crucial.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
definitely a very crucial point. Like you need to
yes,
that comes around from the point which you're trying to make using your projects, that you
right.
need to understand and you need to feel what you did and what you reflect from your CV. Okay,
Yes,
so coming to the main crux of the interview. So, Rakuten, as you can see, you're wearing a Rakuten shirt even today. So,
yes,
walk
yes.
us through the procedure. Like, how did you come across Rakuten, and or rather, how did you and Rakuten cross paths? So, walk us through the process.
Okay, okay. So, me and Rakuten crossing path was a complete, what would I say? Like, it was not pre-documented or something like that. It was completely a fluke. Okay. Now, when Rakuten came into the process of getting a job, so by that time I have given uh, a lot of interviews. That is more than 7 to 8 interviews I have already given. Okay,
Okay,
and
we'll
I have
hear
even
about
given
them
interviews
in
from.
due time. We'll hear about them in
Yes,
due time.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yes. And at that time I was not having a lot of job offers with me also. So my moral was a bit down. I would say in the downer side. But I gave the interview. Like first round was with normal lab and coding. So first round went really well.
Okay.
After that, there were rather four coding questions. Two of them were easy. One was moderate, and one was the tougher one. So
Okay.
I was able to do both the easy ones. I was able to do 10 to 11 test cases of the medium one. One test case was failing, most probably, yes. And the tougher one, I think I was able to do only two test cases because it was a really tough one. It was a graph based question. So, as you know, in data structure, the graph based coding questions are the toughest.
Yes, definitely.
So, yes, yes. So, that was the deal. So, I thought that I will get it because my active went really well. I was sure about all of them. So yes, I got a call for the interview. So we went to RCCIIT because that was the location. So first interview was a more of the technical side. It was around 45 minutes interview. So the guy covered everything like Java, software development, DBMS. Then there is data structure. Then there
Ah,
is networking, a bit of networking. So he covered everything. So that was the first interview. I was able to give answer to more than 70 to 80% of the questions. Like yes, one thing I would like to tell you that if you are not able to answer anything, just tell it that I will not be able to answer. Just don't go for the wrong answers or don't spend time thinking that I can think and I can get the answer. Don't do that because don't waste your time in that way.
yeah, because
Because
obviously,
yes,
and
the
your answer definitely you are the best to know which one you
yes
can answer. Definitely,
yes you will definitely know that you can answer it or not. So don't waste the time of the interviewer because he will not like it. You can say that I don't know, that is fine, but don't waste the time. So that I would like to say. And yes, so that was a 45 minutes interview, and it was like okay. I thought that I will get, but I was not very sure. So later on, I got to know that I've cracked that also. So I was a bit happy because I thought that I will get the job, I think. But after that, they informed that they will be taking another round of interview. Now that was the second round of interview. So we all thought that after a technical interview, what generally happens is if you crack it, you go for a HR interview.
yeah.
But
Ah, yes.
Rakuten, it was different. After a technical, we had another technical. Now,
Okay.
it was yes, yes. We were a bit afraid because as we saw, what should I say? Some before interview, earlier interview records, we saw that the second interview is a bit tougher one. Now, and
Okay.
one or two of my friends already had it because it was online from home. So they said that it was a bit tough. So I went
Oh,
in, okay. Uh, and I didn't take a lot of preparation because by that time I've given a lot of interviews. It is nothing that I will open a book and I will go and reading that this I have to read. Like it's not like that. You know
okay.
what you know. That's it.
Yeah.
Last moment nothing happens in that way. So I went in. I was sitting in the home. They gave me a call. They said that you can have your interview now. So I went for the interview. Now the guy was very serious. Okay, I have given a lot of interviews. I've seen very few serious guys, so he was very serious. Okay.
Okay.
Now he started questioning me. He started from data structure. Yes, he started from data structure. He went on to not automata. He went on to Java. He went on to Java and all. He gave me some coding questions like, how can you code this? He gave me a question. He wanted my approach. Then he gave some normal questions like, what will be your logic on this? Or he gave me a question and he asked me to what will be the DB query for that. Now in
Okay.
DBMS, he went to a lot of depth. He went to transactions. He went to certain extent that we are not even aware of. We didn't even
Okay.
know because the college has its limits, right? They do
Yeah,
teach you
obviously.
up to a limit. Yes, but he went to a lot of depth. I was like, this guy's knowledge is mind blowing. Like it was like this is actual corporate culture. Okay, like there is a lot of depth in your knowledge in that field. I was like not aware of it, and I was very fluent about it. Like he just threw the question and instantly within 2 seconds, it was like, no, I cannot answer. And after giving the interview, I was like thinking, what did I do? I was not able to answer. I should have thought about it, right? I was like, he asked the question, I don't know. Like simply, I said I don't know, and then
Okay.
it was like the interview was going on, going on. I was even not aware of the time. Like it was when the interview ended, it was like around 1 hour and 30 or 20, 1 hour 25 minutes.
Oh my
Yes, it was
God.
not. Yes, it was a 1 hour 25 minutes interview. When I got up, even my mother was looking at me like what was happening. So yes, that was a Rakuten interview. I was about able to answer 60 to 65% of the questions. There was a lot that I left out because I was not even aware of the question. He was asking questions that I've even not heard of. So I was like, okay, मैं Rakuten to मेरे को नहीं मिलना है. I was like, I will not get it. So it was like, okay, done. It is done. But in one fine day, I got the mail like I got Rakuten. Like I was like, even I was not aware that I was getting Rakuten. Some friends pinged me in the WhatsApp like, "What have you done? You have cracked Rakuten." I
Oh my
was
God.
like, "Hey, how can I crack Rakuten?" Like then it was like there was a list of 5 people who have cracked Rakuten. And I was like, "Oh my god, I got a job.
Ah.
Got a good job." Then yes, then I got to know about the details. I got the letter of internship and all. So yes, in a matter of seconds, I decided that yes, I am going for it. Even
Ah.
our HOD, Shukonan Goswami, we went for a talk with him, like what should we do. So he suggested that yes, I still remember one line he said that if you go for Rakuten, don't think that you have any other job offers. You only think that Rakuten is the only goal that you have. That's it. He only said one line: go for Rakuten and know that that is your only aim, nothing else. We
Ah.
also went with the same aim. We are going for Rakuten. We don't have any alternative. And later on, we got the job. Yes, four of us got the job. One of the guys he went for MBA. That's the
Oh.
story of Rakuten.
Okay. So that was pretty enlightening as well as
Yes.
frightening to some extent. Ah. Yeah.
It depends on the interviewer actually.
Yeah, but still, it's like it shows us one thing that maybe it means you don't always have to know everything in order to get the job. It may be your
Oh,
attitude and your intent to know matters. I guess that's something that we can learn from that. So,
yes.
keeping that in mind, I would like to bring out the role of code that Coordinate Academy is aiming in this field because you need not know all skills, but when you need to know a skill, then you must focus on that and you must know to it to a certain depth so that for example, as you mentioned in the Rakuten interview, you could answer 60 to 65% of the questions, and that is no mean feat given the level of questions that you were asked. And that was definitely due to the fact that you had like a solid base in whatever you knew. And I believe that's something that even Coordinate Academy aims to achieve, like enabling people to have a solid base, especially students, so that they can go forward and crack the job interviews. Well, that being said, let's rewind a bit to the other job interviews, the other job offers that you got. One of them being TCS. So, could you just
Yes.
give us a brief overview about your TCS experience?
Okay. TCS experience is a lot of chances that I got. First chance was our college shortlisted a few students. I didn't know that what was the basis. So they shortlisted some of the students and they gave us a direct examination, aptitude and coding for digital role, TCS digital.
Okay.
That is the higher package.
Okay.
So we went for it, and uh, as it is a live platform, I should not say a lot, but yes, I will like to point out that that went on really bad for me, and a lot of people will agree with me. I'm sure about it because the TCS coding platform. Wait, I'm waiting for a word to come in my mind. It is bad. Okay, to I said this least
Okay.
worst word because
Okay, I get
it
it.
is
You
bad.
mean the TCS coding
Ah,
platform? Yeah,
yes,
sometimes
yes.
there are
It is
glitches.
bad.
It
Not
indeed.
sometimes. It is just bad. It is plain and simple bad. Okay, because the debugger that they are providing is they are providing a debugger. You may be happy with it, but it is bad because let me tell you why. I will not insult anyone or something like that. It is bad because see when we all know about coding, right? We all know have a basic idea. And where do we practice coding? Anyone who is looking for a job interview or who is looking for a job, he practices coding in an online platform.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
what do you practice in? You practice in HackerRank.
Hacker
You
Rank,
practice in
Replit,
yes,
or some
Geeks
other
for Geeks.
Geeks for Geeks,
There's
definitely.
Geeks for Geeks ID. So whenever you follow ID, you it makes it easier for you, right? You code. They give the test cases and you test it. But TCS like even have tested that a code that I am running in Geeks for Geeks, it's working fine. Okay, then I when I paste it in their ID, it is like giving some errors like what should I say? Like output is not according to what we think. Like output has some it is wrong format
Formatting
exception.
errors, yeah.
Yes, formatting error. There are a lot of different kind of
Yes.
errors that that we have never heard of actually. Okay,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
know
Even
that the
even
coding is right.
we sat for TCS this time, and we had these
Yes, yes,
fragmentation errors, and even
yes,
those
yes.
are heard of, but some errors we've never heard of them. So that's
Right. So
something
that is
that's
TCS platform. Now it is not that no one is cracking. There are people that who are lucky who get it. But yes, that was the first chance, and I didn't get it because was not able to do the code. So that was the first chance. Second chance was through TCS NQT. That was the global TCS test that everyone gives.
okay.
So NQT went really well. I was able to answer the coding question luckily for NQT, so it was good. After that, I cracked. No, I got a chance for the sitting for the digital exam because few of them because they saw the NQT marks and if it was good enough, so they gave us the chance for digital.
NQT toppers.
So yes, not toppers, but yes, quite good marks. So we went for the digital. Then after digital, same the digital experience is same. I was not able to answer the code because some error was there. Yes, it might be my mistake as well, but the platform is not very friendly with you. Actually, I would say.
I see. Means
So that
it's
was
not the
the
experience of the platform was not up to the mark.
yes,
Yeah,
and it
definitely.
not only once I have given test in the platform more than three because the, yes, more than 3 to 4 times. So
Uh,
it was not a very good experience. So digital I didn't get in that way also. So I went for the Ninja interview. Yes, Ninja interview was the day before Wipro and Cognizant. Uh, yes, on the same day I think. Yes, Ninja
okay,
interview
so multiple
was in the
interviews on the
morning.
same day.
Right, Ninja interview was in the morning on which Wipro was coming to our university. So yes, I gave the interview in the morning and went for the Wipro. Like interview was very good because there were three members in the room. Yes, one of the guy was from IEM. He was a IEM pass out.
Okay.
One of the guy was a bit experienced one, and another guy was HR. So three of them were there. So they started firing some normal questions on DBMS, Java, and all. One surprising thing that happened was like I was asked a question to which I gave the same answer in the previous interview to TCS and the same in the TCS as well. In the previous interview, it was said to be wrong because they said my answer is wrong. Okay. Now I knew that it is right, so I accepted it previously. But this time, when I gave the answer, yes, I said that this is the answer. He said wrong. The IM guy told me that no, it is the wrong answer. But this time I thought of like, why don't I press on it? Because I should, because I know it is right. So I pressed on it like, sir, I think this is the right answer. Shockingly, at that time, the guy who was sitting beside him, he patted him and he said that it is the right answer. So it was like I was a bit happy. So it is like okay, at least someone said that it is the right answer. So I was like happy. Okay,
So
so
this
I was
highlights
happy.
your self-confidence definitely.
Like not self confidence, but you must pro. I mean that if you know that something is right, you must go with it. Like yes, this is the right answer that I think.
This
So yes, I
is this
went.
aptitude from your like activities at the quiz club?
Yes, you can say, you can say yes. You know, see what you know, what you know, right? No one
Yeah,
can take away what you know,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
That is your own caliber.
Definitely.
So yes, that was TCS. After that, the HR also threw some questions. So and one good experience with TCS was after I came out of the room and I was leaving for the college. So one of the interviewers came out of the room and he asked me that where I was going. So he was happy. So I told him that I am going for my college. So he said that are you going for Wipro? So I was like shocked. I was like yes, I'm going for Wipro. So he said that I don't think that you will need Wipro anymore. So I was like oh okay. So he gave me a hint that
Okay.
I think I have a chance of getting TCS. Okay.
uh,
So I was like happily went for Wipro and then I gave the exam for Wipro. That is what TCS experience is for me.
okay. So that was pretty much the ending of it was really nice. Like
Ah yes
it
yes
gives us a sigh of relief. Well,
yes.
that being said, your I mean your approach of the interview was very unique. I must say because like you had belief in yourself and you felt that maybe yes because generally when somebody is told that they are wrong they do two things, either they believe in themselves or they start introspecting and they feel that maybe I am wrong, maybe I'm not. But then you held your head high and you had your self confidence and that definitely helped you in a long way. Well, that being
Yes.
said, let's jump into another interview experience that you just breezed, like you brought up the topic, your Wipro experience, which was an
Right,
on-campus
right.
activity, I believe.
Yes, yes. Wipro was on campus.
So let's have, means, was Wipro the first on-campus activity that you applied for?
No, Cognizant was the first because they were like they came in together. Cognizant happened first, Wipro happened second.
Ah,
I will also tell about the Cognizant interview, but I will say it about later.
yeah,
First, let me complete the Wipro interview.
yeah, definitely.
So yes, after that day of TCS interview, I went for the Wipro technical round. Yes, the first round. So it was like FT and coding. So I was like able to answer both the coding questions and the FT as well. So it was night by then. So I was like, okay. So I knew that I will get it. I was like hoping I will get it because yes, because what happens now? Because after the first round, what happens? Like you can never be sure like what will happen. Like one of the guys who was sitting beside me, he was saying that I got both the codes. I did good in aptitude, so I will get it. Okay. Now I was also thinking that yes, I will get it, but I got it at the end. They announced my name. I got it, but the guy beside me he didn't get. Like it is like very amazing. Like he said that I will get it. This happens because I believed him. Like he said that how can this be? Like there are some things that happen in a
Yeah,
corporate interview, not interview, corporate cut-off rounds. There are a lot of things that happen. I will not go into the details, but this happens. Okay, like you can never be sure of anything.
definitely. Yeah.
So the next day we were called for the interview. The first round was technical, so we went in the early morning. The interview occurred at around 8:30. The technical interview.
Uh,
8:30 in the night. Yes, 8:30 the interview was taken. And after that, that is because my name started with S. Okay.
uh,
They went alphabetically.
I can
So
relate to
unlucky
that.
me. Yes, unlucky me. Then I went for the HR. So technical, they said that it was like one of our teachers went in after my interview, my technical interview. He said that yes. So when he said yes,
Ah,
she came out and told me that you have corrected. it was a pretty simple interview. It was first data structure, it was then software engineering, and it was like Java, and after that a bit of DBMS. Java they gave me coding, and the coding was on it was on exceptions. Yes,
Okay.
Java exceptions. So they gave me a coding. I did the coding. I gave answers on the DBMS and I came out. So he said that yes. Then I went on for HR. The HR was like for 5 minutes. So I did the HR and I came out. So I knew that I will get. I think later on I got the paper as well.
Well, that's remarkable. Now, let me, since you're from the batch of 2020, which sat for
Yes.
both offline interviews and later on online interviews due to the COVID situation. So, as per your experience, which one do you think is, easier or more, which one are you more comfortable with, online or offline?
Well, to be clear, I am more comfortable with offline interviews because in that way you get to know a lot about how you are performing. And that is very crucial in an interview. You get to know a lot from the gestures and the body, like how the person in front of you is reacting. Like his body language gives a lot of indications to you that is are you performing well or are you performing bad. Okay,
Okay.
that's why I prefer the offline mode because that is I think better than for the person who is giving the interview. But Rakuten, both the rounds were online, so that was easy for me because the guy was sitting near to me. The first round, I was able to see how he is reacting. But the second round, the guy was sitting a lot far because it was a conference room and the camera was at this one corner and the guy was sitting at the end of the table. So I
Okay.
was not even able to see the guy's face clearly. Okay,
Okay.
so that was really, I was like afraid, like what is happening. That was, I think, yes, that was my first online interview in which I was not able to see the guy. So I was like, what will happen? I am not able to see his gestures. I'm just answering. He's just saying yes and no. I'm not even able to understand or recognize his face. So what happened is after I went to Rakuten and I joined the team. So the first interviewer I was able to identify. Okay, he said that welcome. I took your first interview. I said that yes, I remember you. But the second guy, he came to me and he was still looking at me and he said that I took your second interview, I think. Welcome to our team. I was like shocked, like he is he the one? Then I remembered, yes, his voice matches. So I think yes,
Ah,
sorry,
the
I couldn't
voice.
recognize because yes. So that is online interview. That is why I prefer the offline interview more.
Yeah, okay. So those are very pretty crucial points. But then, in the
Yes,
presence of this COVID 19 pandemic, the batch of 2021 is fully into online interviews, and I guess this online
yes,
culture is here to stay, I feel.
right,
So, right now you're working from home, I believe. And
right, yes.
yeah, so, how's your experience of working from home with people all across India and beyond?
Yes, you are true that there are a lot of people outside India with whom we have to communicate because Rakuten is Japan based, as you know.
Yeah.
So we have to communicate with a lot of people outside. Communication is not a barrier for us because we are connected through three softwares. One is Zoom, there is Teams, Microsoft Teams,
Yeah.
and then we go for Viber. Viber is developed by Rakuten itself.
Yeah.
So we use Viber as a normal chatting platform. So
Okay.
yes, we are well connected. Connection is not an issue. What the issue is like availability, because I may be available from 1 to 4, the other guy may be available for from 3 to 5. Okay. Now in that time, I only get 3 to 4 a span of time. Okay. So that is the availability. Like for Japan team, they start working. It will be like 8:30. They will start working from 5. Like for us, it is morning 5. They
Yeah.
start from 8:30. There is a
Okay.
time gap
That
of say
yeah,
30,
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. Yes. So when we sit, they have already worked for a longer time, and when we try to give them ask them questions in our second half, they have logged off already. Okay,
Okay.
so that is a problem. But yes, communication is there, and the main problem is not communication. The main problem is connectivity and the availability.
Yeah. Okay. So that's something that's pretty crucial in this times. And well, the let me just bring out the fact about Coordinate Academy with respect to this. That means the website, as I said previously, that the website is launching soon, and we hope to have content that's available throughout 24/7, because you never know when you need what. You might need something at some specific point of time which is not available offline, so you definitely need them online, especially in these times of pandemic. Well, that being said, I must, I would congratulate you yet again on cracking so many interviews. So,
Yes, yes,
beside, like, you said that you cracked three interviews before this. So, what
yes.
was your, like, I would say, like, what was the deciding factor, or what made you choose Rakuten over all the others?
Okay. Uh, See, Rakuten, I was not even having the job offer. It was a kind of internship offer, right?
Yeah,
So, and they gave a kind of limit that they'll be paying us from this LPA to this LPA. So that was a bit higher side, okay. I must say that is a bit to a higher side.
yeah,
But it was a complete gamble, right? We went to Bangalore and we were given amount for the internship period, and we were not even sure that we will be getting the job or not. So, what made me choose is like one can be my determination. Like I wanted to go into a good company. Okay, so that is one factor I must say. And the other factor I will like to tell about my parents, because they told me that always go for the best. Okay,
uh,
now Rakuten being a product based company, like to be fluent, everyone today in a engineering college wants to get into a product based company.
definitely,
Everyone,
definitely,
like no one dreams to like go into a service based company. No one dreams of it. Okay, everyone's dream company is a product based company. This
yeah,
this this I will like to be fluent about.
yeah,
There's no
definitely.
point in hiding that. Okay, yes, and Rakuten is a product based company. So I thought that it may be a gamble, but if I can prove myself, I will get it. So it was like, yes, I went for it.
Uh,
That's it.
that's pretty comforting to hear. And since you brought up the topic of product-based and service-based companies, so like,
Yes.
since many of our viewers of this channel are not very clear about the distinction between product-based and service-based, and I believe in the comments also we'll have plenty of answer questions about it. So, could you just give an idea into like, what you feel is the main divide between product based and service based companies, the main advantages and
Uh,
disadvantages maybe?
okay. There is no, first of all, there is no advantage and disadvantage. Okay. You
Okay.
get to learn new things in both the companies that you are working for. But how a product based company differs is they create their own product. Like there is no ordering system. Like you will not be working under any other group. You will be working for the same company.
Okay.
But what happens is in a service-based company is like suppose today TCS took a project of Cisco. Okay. So
Okay.
in that scenario, suppose there will be engineers who will be working on systems provided by Cisco that may be in their office or in the TCS office only. That differs. There can be
Okay.
on-site and there can be off-site. So you may have to work in the Cisco office as well under with their system, or you can work on their project from your own office only also, but the system will be provided by Cisco,
Okay.
right? So, and in that scenario, you don't get to continue with a single system. You finish your task with Cisco, you go for Larsen and Turbo. You finish your job with Larsen and Turbo, you go for some other company. Okay,
Okay.
like there is like how you get orders, like how the product based, how the service based company is getting the uh, tasks from other companies. Like you have to do this, you have to do this. They are getting the tenders, and you're provided with a job that they're expecting you to do it. That is your service based company.
Okay.
You do the work with respect to what you get to do the work. Okay.
Okay.
That is why a lot of service based company in this COVID situation crashed as well, because America and the projects coming from America were completely down. So the market in America was low.
Yeah.
So yes, so a lot of companies were in trouble for that also. So that is a service based company disadvantage that I can see. But for a product based company, even for the corona situation and all, they knew that that is their product and they can continue with it. So that can be a difference, a deciding factor for a product-based company and a service-based company. But I will tell you that don't distinguish between them much. If you get a product-based company, yes, you can go for it. But I will not tell you to be disheartened with a service-based company, because what you should aim for is learning purpose, right?
Yeah.
Because if you are able to make yourself into a good coder or make yourself into a good software developer, later on you can go into any company, right?
Yeah.
That is your own caliber. What you turn out to become, right? So that is what you should be working on. Like it is not like I must go into a product based company. I will not choose a service based company. That should not be the case. If you are getting a service based company, go for it. Try to
Okay.
outshine yourself. Yes.
Okay, so those are pretty strong words which you said. Like,
Yes.
you must keep on developing yourself, and no matter
Right.
wherever you are. Okay, so let's at this juncture, I would like to ask you a certain question, which like
Yes.
you have time to think and answer. So
Yes.
the
Yes.
question is, if somehow you are able to meet yourself from, say, yourself in second year maybe, if right now you are given an
Okay.
opportunity to meet your second year self, then what would you tell him? With
Okay.
respect to all
Second
these.
best. Hmm. I will not see much, because with respect to the academics, I would say that you don't need to worry about academics. You will do what you will do. But yes, I would surely say that prepare a bit better for or clear out your mind that you whether you want to go for your job or you want to go for higher studies, because that was a very confusing part for me. I was not even sure at the point of giving the CAT that I want to go for MBA or I want to go for a job. When I was giving my CAT examination, I was thinking that, like, will I
Okay.
go for MBA or will I go for a job? So that is a very big fight that is going on inside your mind. You cannot focus on a particular thing at that time. Okay. So that
Okay.
is what I will tell my second year self, that try to focus on, and try to focus and decide that what you want to be. Whether you want to be a software developer and get a job, or you want to go for higher studies and do MBA.
Okay, so the reason why I asked this question was because
Yes.
like the suggestions which you gave to your hypothetical second year self, that would serve as a guideline to all the second year and third year students who are watching this video right now. Because,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, definitely that will be of much help to them. Learning something from that totally and clearing out your pathway, like whatever you want to
Yes.
choose. That's definitely something that would be great if you do it in second and third year. As you said, third year is a very crucial year, your career defining year, as you
Yes.
termed it in the
Yes.
beginning. So that being said, that's pretty impressive, like how you came out through this journey and how you guided us through it. Well, one more, like I have one more question, which kind of pertains to the similar line. Like, mm, had there not been Rakuten, like had you not
Hmm.
cracked Rakuten, then what would you have chosen as an alternative?
Okay. Uh, Had I not got Rakuten, I would have went for Wipro. Yes, most probably I would have went for Wipro, and I'm not very sure, because if I would have not got Rakuten, I would have been given more opportunities to sit for the future job interviews as well.
Okay.
So I had a chance there as well. But yes, apart from that, with whatever I had, I would have gone for Wipro.
See, that's something that's that's a judicious choice, I would believe, and well, we need not think along those lines because now Rakuten is here, and you have like as you means your experience in Rakuten till now has been pretty fair. So, could you just give us an insight into like some of the perks which you liked, which you particularly liked at Rakuten in your life at Rakuten?
Okay. See, their work culture is very open. Okay, that is what I liked first, because there is no cabin system. Like what we see, like there are different cabins, You are sitting there with a laptop and or a desktop, okay, and the guy that is beside you has a kind of border, and you have to lean back in your chair and you have to talk with him like, hey, how are you doing, like that. Okay, that does not happen in Rakuten.
Okay.
Rakuten, there are desks and there are PCs and there are laptops. You connect the monitors with the laptop, you work normally, and the guy is just sitting beside you. There are plain tables. There's no cabins. The whole office has no cabins. It is completely open culture. Okay. Like even there are the HR sitting there, you can just go and talk with them. Just go and talk. You even don't need to knock or anything. Okay.
Okay.
That is a very open culture in Rakuten. I loved it because and people are available. Like if you face any problem today, you can just go into your manager or you can go to your buddy and you can just ask him that this is the problem that I am facing. Can you tell me what should be my approach, or you can tell me the solution. And they always responded. Like as a fresher, what you need the most is support. Okay. Now always you must have the ability to learn, or you must have the urge to learn. So I had the urge to learn, but I didn't have the means at that time. So that means was provided by my buddy and my manager. So they provided me the guide that I needed. They provided me the suggestions that I needed. So that is what I loved about Rakuten. Because whenever I needed anything, my manager was there, my buddy was there to guide me. Like, Soumya, this is you are a fresher. You must think of this. You must think of this. You must follow this path. You carry on with this path for this amount of time. You will be able to see results after this amount of time. That
Huh.
was Rakuten for me, and that is what I loved about Rakuten. First of all, the open culture, and the second one is that their urge to help. Like, they are ready to help you. That is what I loved about Rakuten.
So that those are pretty strong points which you mentioned, because anybody who's like wanting or preparing to get into Rakuten must be very clear about what he or she is facing, and I believe this your experience at Rakuten is it's a kind of represents what they are going to get. So like among our viewers and even myself, we're preparing for Rakuten placements and other interviews which are tracking. So, what specific guidance would you like to hand out to those who are aspiring to sit for Rakuten this year?
Okay. Mm, See, know your basic. Okay, know your basic. Like suppose today, if they ask you a data structure question, now if you have your basic knowledge clear, like whatever it may be from Neglist, it may be from StackU, it may be from a bit depth like hash set or hash maps. You must know the basics, right? For data structure and all, you need to have a clear idea, like how the data is stored, where they are stored, how the operations are occurring. So always keep your mind clear. Like whenever you have any question, just call your teacher, or you can even call your college teachers. I'm sure that your college teachers are friendly with you, and they will be more friendly with you at this time of the year because you are really struggling to get a job, and they are always there to help you. So whenever you are doubtful about what is happening here, or how is it happening, or what is happening, and why it is happening. Okay, so anything that doubt you have, you just go to your teacher and ask him, because you never know that from where the questions are coming. Okay, and I have given more than around 9 to 10 interviews, and I'm very much clear that in an interview you can never guess anything. Like there is no guesswork, and you cannot anything cannot be predetermined. Like I will get some questions, you will think that I will say that Java is my favorite language, and I will say that data structure is my strength, and I will say that I will go for software engineering. And you will get from these three fields. That is not happening with you, boss. Because in an interview, the interviewer will try to get to know in the fields that he is good in. Because suppose an interviewer is much older than you, first of all. Okay.
Definitely.
Like more than 3 to 4 years older than you. Okay. Now, today, if you are 3 to 4 years older than me, I suppose I am 3 to 4 years older than you, and if you start firing the questions that you are facing right now, I will be not be able to answer. Right, I am not very good in my academics because maybe I was good in my academics, but I don't remember most of it. Right. So what he remembers is what he is working on, or something that he may have prepared for just taking your interview. Okay. So in such a scenario, he will suppose the guy is from networking. Okay.
Yeah.
and you are prepared with Java, data structure, and software development. So what will happen? He may not have a good idea. So he will start telling about application layer. He will start telling about the data layer and all. So that are all networking
Networking.
questions. He
Yeah.
will talk about, yes. He will talk about subnetting and all. Do you know about them? Okay. How about this happening? So in such a scenario, what will happen to you? Like you are in a
Yeah.
mess. Like you will
Yeah.
not be able to answer most of the questions. Maybe even
Yeah.
if you are able to answer, he may not be satisfied with you. So in such a scenario, like you must never guess. Like whatever you are writing in your CV, that is your strength. But you must also be prepared with whatever you are not writing in your CV. Okay, because interview is not a cup of tea. Like the
Yeah.
questions will come from there. Interview is a vast sea. Okay, the question can come from anywhere, and it is not necessary that you will know everything,
Yeah.
but you must know at least the things that you are confident about, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that should be handful as well. That
Yeah.
should be able to satisfy the person. Okay,
True.
so yes, that is
That's
what an interview is.
Yeah, so that was a very useful insight. We have been discussing a lot about coding and the data structures and definitely the topic. So, what I would like to ask you is like, how did you prepare for your coding or your data structures problems? Like, as you mentioned, HackerRank and all other platforms. So, like, what was your particular path of learning? Could you just elaborate a bit on
Mm,
that?
So if I go for the database management system (DBMS), all the queries, writing the queries, I took help from HackerRank because that's a platform where they give you questions and they ask you to write the query and they provide you with the solutions as well. So you can learn about the queries from there. For me, I got the basics and working of the DBMS from my college teachers. Okay. Like normalization, then the details of acid properties, everything I got from teachers. But internet is also very good for knowledge in that field. You get to know a lot about different serialization and all. But what DBMS goes into depth is in the field of transactions. Okay.
Okay.
Now that you can go with your teacher or you can go with yourself with the internet as well. But for an interview, you will not be able to find particularly for an interview what is to be read like in the internet.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, I will ask you to ask any senior, or you can ask any teacher like what is the field or what is the area which I should be studying more or I should be aware of. So there goes DBMS. For data structure, I will suggest you to solve more and more problems on data structure. So today, if you go to CodeChef or HackerRank or there is
Hacker
one
Earth.
platform. So HackerRank. Right? So if you go there and if you search for competitive coding and different data structures and all, they will provide you with questions from intermediate to advanced. Okay. Now I will suggest you to go with the intermediate ones. Like it is not like it is not like that if you are solving intermediate questions you will not get a job or something like that. What you need to do is you have to be clear with your knowledge. Okay. So if your basic is clear, if you are able to solve all the intermediate, then go for the beginner. If you are able to solve the beginner, go for the hard. And it is not like if you are not able to solve all the hard questions, you will not get a job or something like that. Okay. So it completely depends on what you are getting. Like you cannot predict what is coming, right? So you have to be prepared uh, uh, to be the best version of yourself, or whatever you can be prepared with.
Okay,
Yes.
so that
So
was a
that goes for
pretty,
data structure.
yeah, that was a
Yes.
pretty, strong line which you said there. Like, you have to be
Ah,
the
like
best version of yourself.
yes, because see, what I know about myself that I'm not very good with my memory. Okay, like I cannot remember huge lines of codes or something like that. Now today, if I am going for data structure and they are asking me a question like how to do merge sort, okay, I know a lot of my friends who have just memorized it. Okay, so if they tell you, just they will just write the code and they will show you. They know the logic. That is fine. They can write and explain, but they have memorized the whole code. Like I don't have that ability. Okay,
Okay.
and I'm not demeaning them or something like that. That is their caliber. They try to memorize that and then they try to explain or they try to understand. That is what they do. But for me, I never had their mental ability to learn a lot. So what I had to do is I had to understand what is happening, how is it happening, and I wrote the code from that. Okay, so that is what I did. You may have a different strength. You may be able to remember. Okay, So in such a scenario, you have to identify what is your strength, okay, and then go for it, and go with it. Because if you see that you cannot memorize, you try to understand what is happening. How is merge sort happening? We are breaking down the whole array. We are again breaking down. We are breaking it into chunks and again merging them. So if you follow the basic, you get the idea what is happening, and then try to write it in your code. And always remember, code in the language that you are comfortable with. Now, for the younger generation, I would like to say, like younger generation, matlab what is happening is that you guys, a lot of you guys are focusing on Python because that is the latest in the market.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was happening with us also. We were also very much excited to Python. We have to learn Python. That is the main language. Now that is not true because don't go only with Python. Python is not the main language or something like that. Python is a good language. Python is an emerging language. Yes, Python is an emerging language. Python has a lot of libraries and it is good in supporting many things. But what is the mother language? We know that is C. Okay. C, then
Definitely.
there is Java, the object-oriented programming language. There is C++. You have to know the code languages as well. Okay. So always code in the language that you are comfortable with. It is not like you have to code in Python only. Suppose I know Java and I went on Python. Okay. I will see that I will code only in Python because I have to learn Python. Python is trending. Everyone wants to know Python. So I will go for Python. That should not happen. Code in the language that you are comfortable with. And no coding language is big or small. Okay. So if you say that I know Java, I am not very much strong in Python, that will not be like against you. The interviewer will instead respect you that he's very fluent. He's saying that I'm not very good in Python, I'm very good in Java. And if you are saying that I'm very good in Java, you must be very good in Java.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
There is no boasting in an interview. You cannot boast about anything that you don't know because you
Hmm.
never know when it will backfire. Okay.
Definitely.
That happens in an interview. So code with the language that you are comfortable with. So that goes for data structure. So DBMS data structure. And for object-oriented programming languages, you can go for Java or C++. Basic ideas you must be aware of: inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. What are
Yeah.
those things?
Yeah.
How they are happening? Polymorphism, runtime polymorphism.
Yeah.
Okay, then there is another polymorphism. What are their details? Why are
Yep.
they used for? You must be aware of those things. So that is OOPS. And then there is software development. You must know the life cycle. What is
Yeah.
happening?
Different life
Like
cycles.
first it is the feasibility analysis, then there is calculations and all. You must be aware of those things. Yes, there are some subjects that you can say that I don't know. One of them is networking, and then there is automata, not automata. What was it? There was another subject that you can see, microprocessor, microcontroller. You
MPMC.
can
Yeah.
say that I'm not very much aware of it. Yes, because that is something that they cannot expect from you too, because networking may not be your strength. Okay, so you can just directly say that I'm not very good in networking. I'm not very good in microprocessor microcontroller. That they can accept, but some companies may have some exceptions as well that I'm not very sure of, but they can accept that. Okay,
Ah,
so
I see.
try to study that much that you can take in your mind. Like it is not that this company asks a lot of questions. In the previous night, I just studied the microprocessor and microcontroller book. That you should not do.
Yeah. The
You
last
must be
night
comfortable.
study, I guess,
Yes,
works only in the
that
case of
does not happen.
semesters.
You must know what you know. That's it. Bas.
Yeah. So as I was saying, the last night study might work only in the case of semesters.
Yes,
Not
yes,
in this case. Yeah.
yes.
So that being said, like as the process of enabling or imbibing concepts comes in, I might highlight the role of Coordinate Academy and the aims that QA is aiming. Well, it's not just Coordinate Academy, but the whole Coordinate group of industries, of which Coordinate is the EdTech platform. And being the EdTech platform, it must, I mean, I won't say must, it is focusing on the how to take forward the concepts and elucidating them in such a way that people can get a very clear and crisp idea of what is coming. That and I now I would coming to the concluding stages of today. So I would ask you just one more question, which is also relevant to interviews, and it's something which I have faced in the limited number of interviews that I've appeared for. So, how much effect does your knowledge of like upcoming skills like IoT or machine learning or AI, how much does your knowledge of these fields affect your interview performance or affect your impression of what the interviewer has of you? So how does that affect?
Uh, okay, that's a good question. See, what happens is these terms that you said, big data, there is AI. Okay, these things, cloud computing. Okay, these things are latest technologies. Okay,
Definitely.
now what? Suppose today, if you are opening a company, what will you be working on? So the chances of working with the latest technologies are higher. Okay, so if you have a good knowledge in these fields, like no knowledge is not beneficial for you. Each and every knowledge that you possess is beneficial for you. Okay,
Definitely.
so if you have these knowledges, what will happen is that if you go for the startups, you will be beneficial because most of the startups, like I told you about iMerit, right?
Yeah.
iMerit, yes. In iMerit, what will happen is like iMerit, and there is also Cloud Kaptan. Okay,
Okay.
so they were startups. So
Okay.
what happened in that? Most of them they were asking about big data. Then there is AI. Then there is machine learning. They were looking for those things. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
they were asking you that do you know about these things? Even in Cloud Kaptan, I was offered the job, but that there was some miscommunication. I will not go into that, but they were asking me that are you comfortable with machine learning and AI. So at that time I told that yes, I have done some project, but I'm not very much confident because I have not done any I mean like not done any live projects or not been very much
Yeah.
involved in a project with that. So these things are always beneficial for you. Okay, but it is not completely necessary that you have to be always be aware of the latest technologies, but yes, they are you have to be at least aware that what that is. Like if someone asks me that what is big data, I must be able to at least give him the definition that
Yeah.
this is big data. Okay, and I might not have worked with it, but I know this. Okay,
Yeah.
same goes with AI and machine learning. That I know that this is something, these work with data, we work with this, but I may not be able to work in a project with you. That you must at least be able to see.
Yeah, I mean, like an honest idea of what you know exactly and how much you are adapt. Like you need not always work with
Yes,
projects. You must at least know what it is and how much it can
right,
affect the world in the future. That's
right, right.
definitely that coupled with, I guess, with upskilling tendencies can help us a long way. So that's a great interaction that we had with you. So thanks a lot for giving us your time, and
Yes, not a problem.
we would. I would also like to thank our sponsors, Hotochara.com. They're a gifting platform who help give out like help deliver the best gifts that you can imagine and gift for your friends and for your loved ones. So that's we thank them a lot for sponsoring today's video, and a special thanks to Coordinate Academy for helping us, and definitely Shomoda, thanks a lot for providing all our viewers with your lovely experiences and your sometimes humorous outlooks into you know into your interview experiences that you had. So thanks a lot. So is there any special message that you would like to give to our viewers today?
Ah, yes, yes. I was waiting for this. So see what happens. Like if you have qualified the first round, that is FT and all, you go for an interview. Okay. Like in an interview, like what happens is, to be frank, okay, I might be wrong, but what my analysis is that 60 to 70% is luck. Okay, you
Okay.
cannot deny it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that is uh, why am I telling luck? Because a lot depends on the interviewer, first of all. Okay, what he knows and what he is comfortable with. Now, and the second thing, why I'm telling luck is the kind of questions that he is going to ask you. Okay, because you are giving interviews right nowadays, so you
Yeah.
must be very much aware of the term like reject panel, right?
Yeah.
You must be aware of it.
That's dangerous.
So
Yeah.
that happens, and that is dangerous, and that happens. It is not a myth. That happens. Okay. So you never know what is going to happen in an interview. Okay. So 60 to 70% depends on luck. Okay, first that is, and the rest of it is your caliber, like what you know and what you can answer. Okay, so in such a scenario, like I will tell you to handle the situation with as much as care as you can, because suppose for me what happened in Cognizant is that my panel was a rejection panel. Like, how did I understand that? So whatever answer I gave, they told me wrong. Okay, so even the right answer were declined.
Oh
Okay,
no.
so even I insisted that I'm telling the right thing, so he said that you are wrong. So I didn't force much. I was like sure that this is something a rejection panel. But later on I gave all the answers that I could, and later I didn't get the job. That is okay. And you can be unlucky in times also, because like for me in Infosys, I got the job through Hack with Infi, that is a coding exam. So I got the job of software engineering specialist SES. So they handed me the job, and when they went for the background verification or something, so they said that you are not visible through the webcam. Okay.
Okay.
Now it was a very big setback for me at that time, because that would have been my first job interview. That would have been my first job that I cracked.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, so it was like he told me that you are being offered the job role of SES, and then when I went for the verification, he said that your webcam is not was not on. I could not be seen, and I said that HackerRank was not allowing you to give the exam if your webcam is off. How can you not see me in my webcam? So he said that there can be some technical difficulty maybe. So I said that okay, go for it, look for it. So he said that okay, we will be contacting you after some days. So they never contacted back, and I have not got the
Huh.
job. So, yes, so these kind of setbacks, yes, these are setbacks, and but still you must go for it, because like for me, my first 5 to 6 interviews, even after getting the job, I didn't get the job actually. Okay,
Okay.
so in such a scenario, after that, when you go for any big company like Rakuten, one of them, so you must not be heartbroken, or you must not be thinking about those things. Okay, you must completely isolate yourself from those things. Like whatever has happened. You cannot do
Hmm.
anything with it. Okay, and you must never give up hope. Okay, hope is something that you cannot give up in an interview. Okay, even even till your last extent that you have not given most of the answers, some answer can give you a job, because there can be some questions that most of them cannot answer, but you can answer. Okay, so that can even fetch you a job.
The
So that
deciding
can
factor.
happen. Yes, that can be a deciding factor, because there are some special questions in an interview, like those need a lot of logic, those need a lot of thinking. Okay, you may not be remembering a lot about Java, suppose Java inheritance and all. You may have been forgotten, or your concept may have been twirled in your mind. You may not be clear. But suppose if he gives you a question with some logic, and how can you solve it, and really solve it in a good way. If you did the solving in a good way, you may have cracked the job even after not answering most of the previous questions. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that
So
can happen. That can happen. Yes.
that's a reality. I mean, that's something that can that's something that has to be kept in mind. Like you need not to
Right.
be always disheartened after a bad interview, maybe, or
Right.
rejection should not put you down. That's a strong
Right.
point
Right.
which you put forward. So
Right. And
yeah.
above all, you must be prepared for anything. Like anything can happen. Like for EPAM, what happened is I went early in eight. I went in at 8, and I came out at around 10:30 or 11, and I didn't have a job offer, because because at 10:30 the HR came out and said me that you can leave for the day. You are not getting the job offer. And that interview was same. It was a kind of rejection panel. The guy was asking questions from hell and heaven of difference. Like whatever you have studied of Java, I had forgotten. Like, whatever question he asked. Like I thought that I don't know Java for a while. Okay, so
Okay.
that happened. Right. So this can happen. Like you can go in at 8, you can come out at 10:30 with no offer. Days after days, in 1 or 2 days that can happen, one after other. So you must be prepared with that. You must not be like, "Arey yaar, chhod do, ye main nahi dunga." That will not happen. You have to be prepared, and you have to try again and again, because if you are hunting for a job, you must be prepared, and you must be prepared for anything, because anything can happen. Okay, so that will be my message. Like, go for it, and don't be disheartened with any unsuccess, because you never know what may be waiting for you around the corner. Okay, so just go
Hmm.
for it and just be your best. That's it.
Okay. So those are very strong closing points, and with those advices kept in mind, I hope our viewers have enjoyed today's show. Thank you again, Somoda, for your
Yes,
for your
yes,
time today. And with that,
yes,
I would come to the end of today's session. So don't forget to subscribe to Coordinate Academy YouTube channel. And
yes, yes.
we hope to see
Thank you,
you.
coordinate, for giving me a chance
Yeah.
to share, yes, to share my interview. And I will also like to thank Orunan. He is a big part of coordinate, I know. Uh, yes, he also gave me a lot of enthusiasm. He was the guy who helped us a lot throughout the college, and he also gave me a lot of enthusiasm to share my experience and let me help the juniors. So thank you, Arunan. Thank you, Sabbusachi, for conducting such a wonderful interview.
Thank you.
And thank you, Coordinate, again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, we come to the end of today's session. So we'll see you again. We'll have an interview experience session soon. Hopefully the next week or the week after, maybe. Till then, subscribe to Coordinate and stay tuned. And don't forget to check out our website or the Coordinate Academy website. You can check them out on our Facebook pages. We will be live on 7th December. That being said, bye. Good night.